Hello, everyone. And we are right 5 minutes after the hour. People have already entered and we are about to start. Just for the housekeeping rules, we have interpretations available. You can click on the globe icon and avail the interpretation services. And if you have any question during the clinic, please be patient with us for the question and answer sections. And printing space policies should be followed in all kind of communication. And since it is in recording, so if you're not comfortable with getting your videos on, you can turn off your cameras. And thank you for being with us. Welcome, everyone. So today's topic is on event registration tool. As you might have already known what this tool focus for. So it is a basically foundation supported tool, which is used for global event campaigns. And we will be having the introduction today, followed by the demo. Welcoming our sharers for today, Benedict, Ilana, Euphemia. Thank you so much for joining us as our esteemed sharers today. Okay, so since we all are here in a Let's Connect platform, let's just get back to our reflection on Let's Connect. What is this? So this is a peer learning program that is operated by as a joint community foundation initiative, and we are here to have a very good time to learn together. And as we always keep repeating, this is a very safe place to share your experience, to ask your questions. No mistakes are getting judged, and you're always welcome here. Okay, what are the learning outcomes that we are expecting today? So we will be discovering the event registration tools feature, benefits, and its applications in a global platform. We will learn how to request event organizer rights. Then also followed by that, we will see a live demo of creating a sample event page where you can add your organizer's name, the purpose of registration, the declarations, privacy statements, usefulness, and everything that will be shared live. Okay, in the meantime, let me quickly walk you through our agenda for today. So as we are following the first 5 minutes, we are doing our check-in and introduction. And thank you everyone who has responded in the chats. It's always feels good to see diversity in the participation. Then right after this, I'll hand it over to my colleague Serin, who will lead the icebreaker for 10 minutes. Then we will have the event registration introduction and tool demo by Benedict for 50 minutes, followed by our sharer Euphemia's presentation for 20 minutes. Then we will have a question and answer section for 10 minutes, and we will jump into the activity for 15 minutes. We will have 5 minutes for our group reflection in the main room, and then we will proceed for close-up. And just to give you all a heads up, if we might need time during the breakout activity or reflection, we might slightly run a little bit over time, maybe 2-3 minutes. So please don't mind if we do that. Okay. So here are the icebreaker. Over to you, Sareen.
Thank you so much and welcome everyone. I'm Sireen. So I'm gonna share my screen for the icebreaker. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Before we start with the clinic, we want to ask you a very simple question, yet we want you to think a little bit. What was one of your favorite, more memorable experiences with virtual meetings? Any meetings that you attended before? Maybe you can think of Let's Connect meetings or any other meetings. You can share your answers to the Jamboard, which is shared, which my colleague shared in the chat, or you can just write it in the chat and we're added in the Jamboard. A moment or two, it's up to you. You can share as many moments as you want. Okay, we have someone said community calls with the community development team. Okay, someone said I was dozing off on camera during a meeting. We can all maybe relate to that. Any other moments? Come on, we all have our moments. My cat walked on the keyboard and typed gibberish on the chat. Oh, community call about AI. Okay. Someone said, let's connect social media topic was very interesting for me. I mean, all let's connect the learning clinics are interesting. Managing pets during life calls are difficult. Pet parents can relate to this. Yes, I'm pretty sure. If you relate, you can say yes in the chat. Someone in the chat said speaking for 10 minutes without turning on the mic. I mean, the mic in the calls are actually stressful.
Siddhi, what is your
Yeah.
favorite moment or any memorable moment with the virtual meeting?
I remember that one day I left my mic on and I was talking to my friend. But it was okay because I was speaking in Arabic and the people in the meeting were don't usually understand Arabic, so it was okay, but it was embarrassing. It is an embarrassing moment.
Okay,
What
so
about you, Chino?
I
Yeah.
have a funny experience rather. So once I was appearing a job interview, and there was a wedding going on in the background, like in the adjacent building, and I was not aware of it. So I was just about to have this interaction with the technical manager, and I'm just starting, "Hi, my name is Chinmay Mishra. I'm so and so." Then there are like crackers firing in the background.
It's okay. As you can see, we all have our own moments. Someone said use of interesting tool during a training by Spring on virtual meeting management. It was exciting. Good. Someone said I forgot my camera was on and my niece came naked to my camera. Okay. Well. Someone said I met a friend who introduced me to the way of using online tools for a professional meeting. Okay, we have another comment. Hi, there is noise on my end, so I can't speak. I'll use the chat. Thanks. Yes, please. You can use the chat. Any other moments from the team? Okay. I think most of the memories surrounds around the camera and microphone things. Someone said my camera was on while on Zoom and it was showing part of my body. Yeah, again, the camera thing is really embarrassing. Cassie said my cat walked on the keyboard and unmuted me, and you can hear me yelling at her while in a staff meeting. Someone said makes communication easy and simple, regardless of distance. Yeah, that's a positive memory or a bright side of Zoom meetings. Any other memories? If someone wants to unmute and share with us, you're welcome to do so. So someone wrote on the anniversary of Wikipedia in Spanish, because we play in community, for example, Wiki Race. Okay. Thank you for sharing that. We have a Spanish comment, I think, but I can't really read it. If someone can read it. So Gorona said, I can see cats are universal troublemakers. Yep, we all agree. Okay, we're gonna continue with this another 2 minutes. Someone said, I don't know why my cat always wants to sit on my computer keyboard. Maybe it's trying to type persuasive messages. Maybe all cats. Okay. I think everyone or most of you shared with us a memorable experience with virtual meetings, and most of them are funny actually, and about cats. Thank you so much for sharing with us your memories, and I'm gonna hand it over again to my colleague, Chino.
Thank you so much, Siri. And thank you everyone who participated in this icebreaker. At least you helped us to break a lot of ice with sharing your memories. Okay, I'll hand it over to Benedict. You can start sharing your screen, Benedict.
All right, thank you so much. I had to make sure that I turn on my mic so that I don't end up speaking for 10 minutes without realizing it. So, yes, hope you can all see my screen now.
Yes, it is visible.
Awesome. So welcome again, everyone. My name is Benedict Udeh, and today I'll be talking to you about event registration tool. I'm here with some of my colleagues. You've seen, you'll be hearing from Euphemia after me. Also, Ilana is also here. If you have any question during the sessions, feel free to ask the question. Don't be scared. There is no such thing as a stupid question. The only ask is just try to keep it within the scope of the tool so that we don't end up deviating from the conversation. But yes, welcome. Yes, today again, I will try to speak slowly so that the interpreters can help interpret, and also again, if you prefer to hear me in a different language, as you've heard before, the support is provided, so feel free to just switch to the language you prefer. So basically what I will be covering today would mostly be around the event registration tool. So basically just showing you what event registration tool is. I believe all of you have seen it, even though you probably don't know you've encountered it. I'll be showing you what it is, how to use it, both from the participant side and also from an organizer's perspective. So what is this events registration tool we're talking about? So the event registration tool, first off, it's built by the campaigns product team and the foundation. And again, this is the team that is pretty much concerned with making your life as an organizer pretty easy, not just you as an organizer, but also as a participant, making it easy for you to find events, find campaigns. By campaigns, I'm referring to the editathons, the hackathons, basically all the events that you know that gather people around to contribute to the wikis. So the idea we have in the team is to build what we call the event center. So imagine this one place where if you want to organize an event, you can just go to that place and you see all the tools you need to organize this event, all the tools that will help you manage the events, even before, during, and even after the event. So that is the imagination we had. And so basically, we set out to do this. And the first tool we started with is the event registration tool. So what is this event registration tool? The event registration tool is the tool that helps you manage registration of events. If you've ever organized an event, say an editathon or a hackathon before, you either fall between one of these categories or even multiple of these categories. First, either you are someone, if you're planning the event, you create the events page on Wiki, then you have a different registration page. Say you're using Google form to do like a registration form where people can register for the event. And then you also have for them to learn details about the event, you point them to a wiki page also. So you're having like two different events. If for cases like contest and editathons, you probably would also be sending them to your participants or potential participants. You also be sending them to an outreach dashboard to go there and register. So at the end of the day, you might have your interested participants going to 2 or 3 places just to register for that particular event. Some other times, if you don't use the Google form, you might end up just having the participants register manually on the events page. So they would go there and go and edit the events page and then put the wiki sign button, sign and keys. And there, sometimes you even tell them to type in their name. So either you fall on any of these categories, the event registration tool is there to make your life easier. And what does this mean? It simply means that with the event registration tool, we're bringing up this ability, we're giving you the ability as an organizer to be able to create all your events and send just one link to your participants for them to register for the event. So instead of sending the multiple links you usually send for, register to the outreach dashboard here, or register to the Google form here, or register to this, or go and learn this, you just have one link where you send to potential participants where they could first look at what the event is all about. And right there, they can also decide to register for the event without having to go to multiple places. So that is the event registration tool in a nutshell. So basically what we have, like I said here, it's where can you use this tool? It's currently available on MetaWiki. Again, I will be showing you the demo after this short presentation. But it's currently available on MetaWiki. The reason is because MetaWiki, for you to actually use the tool, you have to the tool, you only use the tool in in a wiki that has the events extension enabled on it. So we have, again, number one, the wiki must have, so we have different wikis, right? The different wiki projects. We have the Wikidata, we have the different Wikipedias and all of that. So whatever wiki you want to use this tool must have the event registration tool, campaign event extension enabled on it for you to be able to use it on that wiki. So right now, the only wiki that has this extension enabled is on MetaWiki. So which means that you can only use this on MetaWiki and of course on all the test wikis. We are hoping that in the future, in the coming weeks, actually, we'll start enabling it on other smaller wikis. We want to start with wikis like the Igbo Wikipedia, Swahili Wikipedia, and hopefully Arabic Wikipedia. And then from there, also extend it to other wikis. But as of today, you can only use this tool on MetaWiki. And again, the reason is because the extension is enabled on MetaWiki. Also, the use of the content drive, you can use this tool, like I said, to do like your photo walks for events like photo walks, editathons, basically every event every campaign event that requires you bringing people together to add content on the wiki. So what are the features you have on this tool? So some of the features we have on these tools are first, from the participant perspective. Now, once you create your events page using this tool, the participants will have the ability to either choose to register publicly or register privately. What that simply means is that if they register publicly, it means that everyone that goes to that wiki page, to that events page, will be able to see that they registered to the events page for that event. But if they choose to register privately, what that means is that the only person who would know that they registered for that event will be the organizer or organizers of that event and the person, the editor or the user who did the registration. So just these two categories will know about the registration if they choose to register privately. But again, there is a downside to, you might call it a downside to registering privately. If you register privately, you will not be automatically registered on the outreach dashboard. Again, I'll talk more about that later. Also, another thing you can do with the tool, another feature the tool has is, most of the events you organize, sometimes you're not the only person who's organizing the event. For example, this particular one you're attending was not organized by just one person. So you have multiple organizers who help you manage this event. So the tool allows you to also include these other organizers that are not just you. So you can also include other organizers to help you manage the event. The only criteria, the only thing that is required is that whoever you're adding to help manage this event must also have the event organizer rights. Again, I'll talk more about the rights soon. The other feature here you can see is the automatic confirmation email. So once you register, so if a participant registers for an event that uses the event registration tool, they automatically get this registration email that tells them that they've registered for the event, which is cool. So you don't have, you as an organizer, you don't have to manually send a message to them telling them that they've registered for the event. It automatically sends that message informing them that yes, their registration is successful, they've registered for this XYZ event. Another thing here is, which for me, I feel is one of the coolest feature, is the integration with the programs and events dashboard, otherwise known as the outreach dashboard. So if you're an organizer here and you've organized contests before, there are chances that you've used the outreach dashboard. If you don't know what the outreach dashboard is, the outreach dashboard is a tool, is a platform that helps you track the edits that your participants make. So basically help do like a metric tracking for participants' edits. Now, like I said before, when I started, one of the things you're likely doing before is that you are having multiple registration points where if you want people to register for the outreach dashboard, you send them a different link for that. With this tool now, you just have this events page where they will just have to just by registering on the events for it automatically registers them on the outreach dashboard. If you link the outreach dashboard as an organizer, I'll show you how to do this again. Don't worry. Another thing, it also gives you the ability to email participants as an organizer. You also, if you use the event registration tool to create your events page, you can email all the registered participants before the event some of you got the message that was sent, I think, by Justice. He used the event registration tool. You can email the participants, register participants before the event, during the event, even after the event, you can also send email to the registered participants. So emails like, say, you want to send them the recorded video of this session, you can send it to all the registered participants, and which is very useful. Again, optional participant questions that help give insights to helps give you insight as an organizer to what the participants is expecting for the event. So you can better manage or plan the event itself. Again, all of these things I'm saying, it might be sounding like gibberish to you, but yes, let's jump to demo. So again, I'm going to switch. So now, like I said, to use this tool, you need to meet 3 different criteria. The very first criteria is what I've pointed out, which is it has to be on a wiki that already have the campaign event extension enabled on it. One of such wiki is MetaWiki. The other wikis are test wiki as of today. Again, like I said, in the coming weeks, we'll be enabling it also on the Igbo Wikipedia and hopefully the Swahili Wikipedia as well. So we'll start enabling it on other wikis. But for now, it's on MetaWiki. When we enable it on other wikis, whatever I'm doing today, you can also do it on those wikis, which is why I'm explaining this, that you can only use this tool on where the campaign event extension is enabled on. Now, so first step, come to MetaWiki. Once you get to MetaWiki, the next criteria you need to meet is you need to have a particular user right. The user right, we call it the event organizer user rights. Now, this is the rights. Let me see if I can. So this is the event organizer rights. Let me share this link here. So this is the event organizer rights. I will highly encourage you to just go through this, right? It's very easy to get. I know once you were talking about getting rights, some of you are scared that you don't want to have this, you don't want to go through the hassle of applying for requesting for the rights and the delay and all that. For this, I can assure you, you will get it pretty quick. If you apply for it today, you will likely get it today. So again, what are the criteria to get this right? To get the event organizer right, just come to the recommended requirements for rights. You just need to first be sure that you don't have any block. If you don't have any block on the wiki, you're fine. Then the second criteria is just meet any of this one. Once you meet any of these criteria, then you can easily get the right. Now, how do you apply for the right? To apply for the right, you just come to this session, which says the recommended process for requesting event organizer rights. Now, for this right is being granted by, again, because it's currently enabled only on Meta. So because it's currently enabled on MetaWiki, the people who grant this right are Meta admins. In the future, if it's enabled on, say, for instance, Igbo Wikipedia, then it's likely that the Igbo Wikipedia admins will grant you the right to be able to use the tool on Igbo Wikipedia. Again, same thing with other language Wikipedias. So like I said, for now, it is enabled only on Meta. And so Meta admins grants the right. So go to get the right, just go to this place here where you have, so let me copy the link and share with you here also. So this is the link. So to request for the right. Now to go to this place, just simply click on this. So I'm going to be opening this on a new tab. So I'm opening this on a new tab. Now, once you get to this place, now this is where you can request for the right from the Meta admins. Again, don't be scared, it's very easy. Trust me, if you do this now, you're likely going to get this right before the end of this call. So the next thing you need to do is just follow the recommended process here. Once you get here, click on add topic. You see the add topic here, click on it. Then go back to this page, just copy everything you see here. So from here, you copy, this is the subject. This is the subject, I'll copy this. I'll come here, paste the subject. Again, what this subject is just saying, you can just add request for rights. So request for, again, you can just do it like this, or you can leave it like that. I prefer to just have it this way. So request for event organizer rights. This automatically just brings your username. So you don't need to manually type your username. Go back, just copy this, everything you have here, just copy from beginning to end. Again, I'm just copying everything. Return back here, paste it. Again, for this part, this is your username. You don't need to change that. Now for this other part, you need to state the reason why you need the rights. Again, the reason can be as simple as you are an event organizer and you're planning an event. It could be just state the reason why you need the rights, and just put the reason here. You can just type it here. Again, I'm just typing gibberish, but you can both put the reason. It doesn't have to be like a full story book. Just a one-line reason is fine. Then the criteria, you can specify that you don't have any active block. If you don't, if you do, also specify. Again, for this particular criteria, it doesn't matter because the admins will always check if you have any active block. So just be truthful, say no, you don't have any active block, or yes, you do. And then your global edit, of course, you can check the global edit. Now, global edit doesn't mean that the number of edits you have for MetaWiki, but it means both Wikidata, including commons, including all the wiki projects. What is your global edit count? You can just put it here. And how to check that is just go to this. So let me just copy this. Let me give you the link quickly. So I want to just paste this to generate the link. Yes. So come to this page. Again, I'm sharing this link. Apologies if I'm sharing so many links. So this is the link to get your global count. So what you just need to do here, once you get here, is just put your username. So I can just put my username like this, and then view user information. Once you click on this, this is your global count. Your global edit count is what you're seeing here. So this particular one, the total edit count is what you see. Just copy this. Again, the criteria is as long as you have your global edit is above 300, you're fine. So, I mean, everyone here should be qualified for that if you've been making any edits at all. So go back and just put that. So for my case, I'll just remove this and put 300. Again, you want to, if you belong to any affiliate, feel free to, or any additional criteria you want to add, feel free to add it. If you don't have any additional criteria, just remove this. Doesn't matter. Again, additional information here doesn't matter. If you have any, feel free to put it. Again, this could be, the additional information could be things such as like you have this event coming up maybe next week and you need it urgently. So you might just put that as additional criteria. Again, very importantly, remember to sign out, to sign your request. Once you're done, this is what it will look like. It will look something like this. So you can see it here. Once you're done, and then, so my username would be, and you have this. Again, do not put gibberish here. I'm just putting gibberish because obviously you want to put the reason here, and then click on add topic. Again, I'm not going to add because I already have this right, so I'm canceling. Very easy to do. So this is how to get it right. Remember, I said there are 3 criteria to use the event registration tool. The first criteria is ensure that you are on the right wiki, which is in this case Meta, because Meta is the only one that have the right the extension enabled on it. The second is make sure you have the event organizer rights. Again, I've shown you how to do that. Don't worry. Hopefully, if we have more time today, we'll be able to explore, make sure that everyone here has that right, gets that right before we end today. And then again, if you're wondering if you already have the right and you don't know, you're wondering how you could check, you could simply just come to, let me see if I can share this. Yes. So just come to this page here. Let me just share this here. This will show you, again, this is so long because I ran the, so just click on this link. Again, just put your username here. if you want to see if you have the right already, so just put your username here and then show. So it's going to show you all the, basically, so you see it, like for me, there's my username, you can check for others as well. So this is how to check if you already have the rights. Again, this is very long. The link I shared is very long because just the list user I think should be enough. Let me see. So from here, so let me remove this and do this. Yeah, so this should be enough. So if you want to check if you already have the rights. Now, if you get the right, or when you get the rights, so which means you've met two of the criteria, which first off, you're on Meta, second, you've gotten the right. The third criteria is the most easiest criteria. Just make sure that whatever event page you're creating starts with the event column. So which means that it's existing on the event namespace. So what that event namespace means that if you want to create an event, say we want to create an event now, what do we call it? What should we call our event? I need suggestions. Anyone? Just put on the chat. What do you think our event, our hypothetical event or our practice event should be called? Just put on the chat. Let's connect. Okay. Any other one? I want something more fun. Suggestions. BB barbecue with wiki. Oh, I like this. So let's barbecue with wiki. So now, if you want to create this event, usually you will just, again, on wiki, the wiki way is if you want to create the event page, we'll just search first to be sure it doesn't exist. And if it exists, then we'll obviously just know that we can use that name again. Same thing applies. So usually you just put the wiki, the name of the event. But now with this criteria, you have to do something a little bit different. So instead of just putting the name of the event has to start with this. See this keyword here, events, and then column. So I'm putting this on the chat. So you see this. This must be the first thing that starts the event. If you want to use the event registration tool for your event page, then it must start with events and then column. Then of course, the name of your event. Again, because, so if I search for this, if it exists, it will tell me it exists. If it doesn't exist, obviously it will tell me it doesn't exist. So we can see that it doesn't exist. But again, because this is just a practice event, I'm not going to create it live here. I'm instead going to create it on my sandbox. Again, sandbox, for those who don't know what sandbox is just a play area for me. So I'm going to use sandbox to do this. Yes, Rashina, you have your hand raised.
Yes, I wanted to find out if to do this, okay, to create this, the event with the colon and the name of my event, I must have gotten the right first if I can do that, right?
Yes. So that is why I started from the process. So the first thing is get the rights, go to the right wiki that has, so the right wiki is the wiki that has the event, the campaign event extension enabled on it. Right now, that wiki is Meta. So once you get to Meta and then you have the right, then you can proceed with this third criteria, which is having the event, start creating the event on the event namespace. Hope that answers your question. Again, because
yes,
I want everyone to, thank you. Because I want everyone to actually understand this, if you have any question during this demo, please feel free to just stop me so that you don't get lost. Stop me so that I can carry you along. Just raise your hand and then I will let you have the floor. Okay, so moving back. Again, I'm using the sandbox. Again, the only reason why I'm using the sandbox is because this is just a demo. But for your events, you don't want to use the sandbox. You want to just, again, have straight up the event name. So just the event and then this. So I'm going to use sandbox again because this is the demo. So I'm searching, and because it doesn't exist, I can go ahead to create it. Now, once I click on to create it, the event page, remember the event page we're creating is BBQ with Wiki, right? That is the event I'm creating, or the event name. Once I click on that, everything here looks, I mean, if you've ever edited on Meta or created a page on Meta, there's nothing different. It just looks same thing. So usually you want to maybe have your overview. So your overview where you just maybe talk about the event. This is just a demo. Wait. So I'm just giving like an overview. You can add other details if you want. Again, you usually want to just show preview to be sure everything looks good. Yeah, everything looks good. This can have more details, mind you. I'm just having just this one line because it's a demo. But when the magic actually starts, when you start to see the magic, is when you click on publish. So the minute I click on publish, watch, something will happen. Voila, there's a pop-up. Now, before now, if you've never used the event registration tool, this will look strange to you because you'll be like, what is this? If you don't have the event organizer rights, you will not see this pop-up. If you're not creating this event in the meta, in the wiki that has the event extension enabled, you will not see this pop-up. So again, make sure you meet these 3 criteria. You're on the right wiki, you have the rights, the event organizer rights, and then lastly, you created this page starting with the event namespace. Hope that makes sense. So once you see this, you can choose to start enable the registration, which means what that simply means is start letting people, giving people the ability to register for the event or dismiss it. Again, I'm just choosing to dismiss it. The reason why I'm choosing to dismiss it could be because maybe I'm still drafting the page. So I don't want people to start registering for the event. If I share this page with you, so I'm going to share it with you now. If I share this page with you, you would not see this part. You will not see this ability to register. You will only see the wiki text. So you will see the usual thing, which is the overview, blah, 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 and all that I have here. So until I enable this registration, before you can start registering. Yes, Chin?
I have a question. By
Okay.
any chance, does all these events that are getting registered, for example, if I have created something in the sandbox and I published it by mistake instead of discarding, so is there anyone or any team to monitor this if this is a valid event or something just spam or something test? How these things are like filtered out or something?
So if I'm getting your question right, you're asking if you created an event by error and wanted to discard it. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully I'll be showing you how to close events. But again, remember, this is still your regular wiki page. So almost every rule that stands with creating a page on Meta applies here. So the only difference is that the extension. So if you want to delete the event page itself is like deleting a page regularly on how you go about deleting it on Meta. If you want to close the registration, then I'll show you that one as well, how you can close the registration. Hope that's clear. Cool. Rashina.
Yeah. Can I go?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm on Meta now, like you said, and I think I'm lost. My network was freezing. Yes, I've opened Meta, and I'm thinking, what do I do next? I'm on Meta.
Once you get, so the first thing I want you to do is to check if you have the rights, the event organizer rights. That is the first step. So check if you have the event organizer rights. So just come. So I'm going to, again, I'm sharing this with you. I'm sharing the link again here, just in case you missed it. So yes, that is the first step. Check if you have the event organizer rights. So once you get in there, so you'll be seeing something like this. Again, you might see here will show all. Just simply go to event organizer rights, click on it, then put your username here. So for my case, I'll just put my username. And then again, I'm just putting this is, and then click on show. Once you click on show, it will show you all the usernames that start with, of course, your username. And if your username is here, that means you have the right. If it's not here, it means you don't have the right. Then once you see that you don't have the right, or if you don't have the right, don't panic. Just follow the process I showed you on how you can get the event organizer right. Just go to, again, let me be sure, let me not close the one I created. So just go to events organize, this link. So I'm sharing this link again. Now, this link is only if you don't have the event organizer right. You've checked and you don't have the event organizer right. Go to this page. You would see how you can get the event organizer right. I've explained it earlier, just so I don't sound like a broken record. You can just simply just go through this page, you see it. Again, if we have more time, I can always go back and revisit this later. Hope that's clear, Rashina.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Haliru, your hand is raised up.
Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
My question is, in a normal event registration tool that I've registered as participants, I've been part of the program. You see, they ask male, female, your occupation, the way it's the setting of all the necessary questions. But in your own demo now, you just write a sentence and you said when you check the other side, you see the magic. So does it mean that all those information, all those question and answer is on this meta page, the main page that you just try to create now, that you put the question? And again, in some campaign, you even see the aim and objective of that particular campaign, what at the end of this, what all these things. Is it at this same page you put all those things? That's my question, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this question. Again, I will be showing you, remember, we have not enabled the registration yet. So when I will enable the registration to answer most of the question, but what you can add so far, remember, this is just our page. Now, this is the Let's Connect for this event that you saw, that you registered for. You see all these parts here. Oh, sorry. You see all these parts here is something you can add now. In this case, you can always, again, your regular wiki, if you have edited meta before, same thing. Just click on edit source. You can always come back, edit, add more details about the events. So you can add about the events here. This is not the registration. This is the event to talk about the events. Now, when I click on register, enable registration, that's when maybe I'll answer most of the other questions you have. But I want to be sure everybody understands to this point before I move on to enabling the registration. And so yes. I'm going to assume everybody understands till this point. So moving on. Now, let's say you have finished building, like basically writing all the details. Sorry. You've basically done writing all the details about the event, like putting all of these like you have for this Let's Connect event. Let's say we have, for our case, the barbecue with wiki will explain, oh, this is about the barbecue, what the barbecue is, blah, blah, blah. We'll put all of that here. The other part, that means the next thing is you're ready for people to start registering for the event. Once you're ready for people to start registering for the event, all you need to do now is to click on Enable Registration. You see this box that comes out, this form-like box. This is where you fill in the details for the registration. So this is where you fill about the registration form, the form you want people to fill. So in this case, the first thing you're seeing here, obviously, is the event name. This will be the name of the events page. The time zone of this event. Again, the default time zone will be this. The start time. When do you plan to start the event? So how long will this event run in terms of now this start time determines, the start and end time determines how the registration page will be open, how long it will be open for. So remember, whatever time you're putting here has to be a time in the future. So you cannot put start time in the past. Again, your event is in the future. So pick here. Again, you could pick today and pick the time to be. So we can say instead of 16, we can say 19. So we want to start our event 19. Sorry, this. We went back to April. Oh yeah, today's 29th. So got this. Again, the end time, of course, you don't want to end your event before you start. So your event have to be, it can end. So sometimes our events go for maybe 1-day events, like today's own. Sometimes our events could be like a week event. Sometimes contests could even last for a month. Sometimes it could be a year. So you can just put that. Again, I'm just going to, this our hypothetical barbecue event. We're going to leave it for, let's say, let it end on Thursday tomorrow. Let's put the same time tomorrow. Now, the next part here, once you're done adding this part, the next part is the organizers. Remember I said one of the features this tool has is you can add other people to help you manage the event. So you can add other organizers. So I can choose to add anyone here on this call that will help me manage our hypothetical event. But the criteria here is that the person you're adding must also have the event organizer right. If they don't have the event organizer right, they can't help us manage our barbecue event. So again, for this case, can people just help me draw? I want just the first or two persons or one person that will drop their username so that I can use them, add them here, and they can help me manage this barbecue event. Any suggestion? Any volunteer? Lingabo. Thank you. So I'm adding Lingabo here. So you see Lingabo. Once I click on Lingabo, you can see Lingabo Junior. You see the different options. Just click on the right one. Again, I'm just going to click on this. Again, I can see another username. So let me copy this username. Oh, lots of username. So I'm going to just add two. So I'm going to add this username. And then I will try adding someone who doesn't have the event organizer rights. So I will try adding this person. So I'll add this. Now, when you try adding someone who doesn't have the event organizer rights, this is the message you get. And that is how you will know that this person does not have the event organizer rights. So once you do this and you see this, just tell the person to go and get the rights. Once they get the rights, you can always come back and add them. So again, remove this. Hope that part is clear. The next part here is the programs and outreach dashboard. Now, this is, remember I said, you can link your events page to your outreach dashboard. And this is where you do it. All you need to do here is just add the URL, the URL link. So when you create this page, when you create your events page, and maybe you want to also, maybe you're running a contest and you're using the outreach dashboard as your tracker to track people's edits, your participant edits, go and create that outreach dashboard. Once you finish creating the outreach dashboard, just copy the URL link. Ensure that, of course, nobody registers there. Just immediately you finish creating it, as fresh as it is, just copy the URL and come here and paste the URL. So I'm pasting this. Again, I will remove it, but just paste the URL there. That's all you need. Once you paste this URL, you're fine. Again, if you're not all events uses the outreach dashboard. So obviously, if you're not using the outreach dashboard, there's no link to be pasted. So you no need to paste any link here. Again, the third part here, or the fourth part, is what kind of event is this? Is it an online event? Is it in person? Is it hybrid, online and in person? So if it's online is the default. Again, all you just need to do is to put the meeting link here. If it's in person, you need to put, of course, the country and then the address so that people who want to attend will know where the event is happening. If it's combined, if it's hybrid, both online and in person, again, you need to put the meeting link and then the address here. Now, as the organizer, you can choose to fill this detail now or later. It doesn't stop you from creating or enabling the registration. So you can choose to fill this detail later, just like I would do. I would choose to keep this detail until later. close to the barbecue period, so that I'm sure it's only people who register would attend the barbecue. Well, yeah, you can choose to keep that later. The next part here is the group chat. We know sometimes some events we create a special group chat for it, for those events. So some editors, you create like a special WhatsApp group or Telegram group, and then you want your participants to join those groups so that you can monitor their progress and all of that. So for such a group, this is where you can put the link. So just put the group link here. And then again, if you're running an event that is sponsored by, say, Rapid Grants, the WMF Rapid Grants, this is where you can put the Rapid Grants ID, the grant ID here. And the grant ID, you can get it from the Flux portal. Again, if you don't know what the Flux portal is, it means you probably didn't get the Rapid Grant or didn't get the grant through WMF. So you might not be bothered with this. But if you got the grants through WMF, you likely got it by applying through the Flux portal. There is an ID there. You can just, for each grant, you can just put it here. Again, back to your question, Haliru, I think. Oh, I'm not sure who asked the question. Is it Haliru or Roshina? But the question about the question you see. Now, as an organizer, you can choose which question you want your participant to see. So, and some of these questions are, in fact, all these questions are intended to help you better plan your events. So you know the kind of persons who are joining the events, what to expect, and be able to plan it better. Things like, how confident do you feel contributing to the Wikimedia project? So if I click on this, anybody who is registering for this event will see this question. Now, it is not compulsory that the people who are registering for this event will answer the question. Again, these questions are optional for them to answer, but they will see the question. They can choose to respond to it or not. I can decide to just click this. Again, we have some personal questions here, identifiable questions here. Things like, what are your gender? What's your gender? Are you male, female, or do you prefer not to say? Basically, your gender here. What is your age? So you see like an age grade, so you can pick that. Again, this helps the organizer to know in terms of the demography of the persons who are planning to join the event. So this helps a lot in terms of for the organizers to be able to understand or even use basically have like a statistic they can work with before the event and even after the event. Again, you can click on all of this, or you can leave all of them blank, your choice as an organizer. But if you're picking any of this, again, you have to be mindful that you have to agree to to be able to manage the terms and conditions here to be able to use it. So again, you want to click on this to see the terms of use, particularly for these 3 questions you're seeing here. Once you're done, again, like I said, you can choose to click on any of this. You can choose to ignore it and then click on enable registration. So once I click on enable registration, that is it. This is the registration has been enabled for the page. So if I go back to the page, this is what we see. Now we are now seeing this. We're no longer seeing enable registration. We are now seeing more details. We are seeing manage event. Now, if I share this link with you again, so now I've shared this link with you. You can all see the link. Remember, I shared it with you before. You couldn't see all this initial box. You only saw overview. Now, if you look at the link, if you click on the link, you will see this. And what you see, instead of manage events, you see register for events. So I want to see, please register for the events. Let's see what it looks like when people register for this event. So I'm going to refresh this. Nobody has registered yet. Register for the events. Let's make this fun. Unless you don't want barbecue. If you don't want barbecue, then you might decide not to register. So 3 people already have registered for the event. So I just refreshed the page and I saw that 3 persons have registered for this event. Now, for me to see them, I can just click on more details. And yes, remember the barbecue is by Casey. So yes, thank you, Casey. So we have these persons who have registered. Now I want someone to register, try registering privately. So you see a button at the top where you can, a toggle button where you can choose to register publicly or privately. By default, it's publicly, but you can always change it. Again, because I'm showing the screen, I can show you the participant view. You can see the participant view, and hopefully it's straightforward for you to understand. So I'm going to refresh this again, just to be sure to see how many new persons have registered. Oh, 15 persons. Cool. So now that we have more people who've registered, you can see that some of them have lock key attached to them. Now, the reason why you're seeing the lock key is because they register privately. Now, what this means is that they don't want people to know that, I mean, they registered for this barbecue event, which means that only I and Lingabo and the rest and Tanya can see, so only the organizers here can see all the persons who register privately. So the organizers, if you, Lingabo and Tanya, if you click on, if you open this page, you will be able to see these users, but you won't be able to see those people, other users won't be able to see these persons. So the only people that can see these persons are the organizers, and the organizers are those that their name appear at the top here. Hope that's clear. Again, like I said, one disadvantage of registering privately is that if the event have the Outreach dashboard linked to this, you will not be automatically registered on the Outreach dashboard. But every other person who registered publicly will be automatically registered on the Outreach dashboard. So no need of telling them to go there to go and register. Automatically, they'll just be registered on the Outreach dashboard. Hope that makes sense. Again, now let's explore other features. What else can you do? What can you do with this? How can you, in terms of managing the event? Yes, there's one thing that you can see all the participants, registered participants. Yes, there are 17 now. You can see all of them, but what else can you do? Remember, I said you can, one other cool feature with this is you can actually send them a message. So we can send them like a reminder message before the event. Remember, you can also send them the message during the event or after the event. So in this case, if you want to send a message to all the participants, now the message will be delivered to them, but only to their email. Now, it's not going to be delivered as a text message. It's not going to be delivered as a message on their user page. It will be delivered to their email. Now, you're wondering, how do we know their email? Because all we can see here is just their username. Now, to answer that is why we have this section here, which is can receive email. The email that will be sent, the message we will send can only be received by those users who have their email linked with their account, with their wiki account. And as an organizer, how you would know is just by this. So you see all this, almost everyone here has a yes, which is cool. Everyone here that have registered for this particular event have their email linked to their account. So which means if we send to everyone here, they will receive the email. But in some cases, you might see some will appear no. So when you see a no, it simply means that whatever message you're sending from this place, they will not receive it. Hope that is clear. So again, if you want to send to everyone, either you click on this message all participants here at the top, or you click highlight this, highlight the user, the first one here, it highlights everyone, and then you click on message participants. Once you click on message participants, just like every email, so once you click on message participants, just like every email, you have your subject and then the body of the message. So for this, I'm just going to call it the BBQ experience. And then the body, I will just put come dine with us, or again, I'm just going to put demos just so that you know it's demo. I'll send this mail now. For all those who've registered, I mean, for the 17 persons here, you can confirm, check your email. You should receive this email now. Oh, I forgot to show you. You saw a pop-up. There was a pop-up that showed here that said message sent. So you see the pop-up that will just show at the top left, saying top right rather, saying message sent. That is it. So you can check your email, you receive this message. And that is how easy it is to send message. Again, remember here I highlighted all. You can choose to just send to only Chino. You can choose to send to 3 persons. You can choose to send to just 1 person. It's still fine. Just you can highlight basically who you want to send a message to, and then send the message. Click on message participants and then send the message. It's that easy. Another thing you can do is you can remove participants. Let's say for this my event, I don't want Chino, sorry, I don't want Chino to attend the event. Let's assume Chino is a very troublesome person in our community, and this is just hypothetical. Chino is very nice. And I want to remove Chino as from registering for this. All you need to do as an organizer is just click on this, and you see this delete. Click on delete. There's a pop-up warning telling you you're about to remove Chino from this our barbecue event. Are you sure about this? And I will be like, yes, I'm sure. And I will remove Chino, sorry, so sad. But again, if you look at this, Chino is no longer a registered participant. We no longer have 17 persons here, we have 16 persons. So that is how you can remove registered participants. And again, I'm just looking at the time to be sure that I still have enough time. But I want to pause here to ask if anybody have any questions so far. Any questions so far? Yes, hello.
It was really amazing, but my question is, I didn't really know when you get to how to send email. I don't know. I didn't get there, so
Yeah,
I see when you open, you start typing what you want to send to the participant and how to delete. So I never want to stop you. So
okay, so it's very easy. From this page, remember, if you come to this page, if I refresh this, from this page, right? From the events page, just go to more details. If you click on more details, go to manage events. You see the manage events. Click on manage events. You see participants here. You can click on participants. This will show you all the participants.
okay.
Then you can highlight the participants you want to send message to. If you want to send to everybody, just click on this one at the top, or click on message all participants.
Okay.
The key thing to note here, the very key thing to note here in sending message is that you would want to check to be sure that everybody you're sending message will receive it. And so how you will know is just make sure you check this last part, this part here that has can receive email.
Okay.
So everybody that has a yes, in our case, everybody has a yes, but sometimes you say a no. So, but everybody that has a yes can receive the message you send. People that have a no will not be able to receive. And the reason why they have a no, it's because their email is not linked to their wiki page or wiki account. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, thank you.
So
very
once you
much.
finish highlighting them, just click on message participants here, and then the message, and then you send the message. Any questions so far?
Thank you very much, sir.
Awesome. So you see how easy it is? Now, in this case, you don't need to create multiple links. All I needed to do, remember, I just shared one link to you for you to register. And that one link I shared is this event page. And with this event page, you can learn about the event. You can register for the event with just that one link. Yes, Keita? Keita, if you're speaking, I can't hear you.
Bonsoir. Bonsoir, oui. En fait, j'aimerais savoir pourquoi il faut forcément avoir un droit. Pourquoi ne pas donner droit à tout le monde du moment que si quelqu'un demande un droit, il peut l'avoir. Pourquoi ne pas donner directement droit à tout le monde pour faciliter les choses?
Very good question. Again, the reason why not everyone would have access by default is because obviously you see some of the rights here, some of the things you need to meet. We don't want to give this right to persons who have block accounts or who have been blocked for a reason, because again, you can send messages with this, like you have seen. It gives you some added ability. So we want only people who are event organizers, basically, to have the rights to do this. Like I said, the criteria is not so much, but it is necessary to meet the criteria. Hence why it's not given by default. I hope this answers your question.
Oui, oui, ça
Later,
répond
does
à...
this?
D'accord, merci, je comprends.
Okay, cool. Any other question? Any other question?
Hi, Benedict. Thank you so much for this interesting demo. I mean,
Yes, please,
so this has
please, I just remember something. Then how is it connect to the outreach dashboard that you can see the tracking? You can be able to track the edits of the participant. Does that mean you have to create an outreach dashboard before doing this, or how is it linked? Sorry, please, I just remember this.
Yeah, that's a very important question. I know Chino was about to tell me my time was up. So Chino, sorry, just 1 minute. Let me answer this question. It's a very important question. You still need, as an organizer, you still need to, of course, create the outreach dashboard. So this does not stop you from, does not reduce that work. You still have to go and create the outreach dashboard. The only thing it helps you to do, which is a major thing, is that you don't have to now start telling participants to go and register for that on the outreach dashboard. Just by them registering publicly on this particular page, we automatically register them on the outreach dashboard. Like I showed you here, so if I click on manage this event, if I go back to edit this page, again, this is one, you can always come back and edit this page, your events registration form. So if I come back here to edit this page, this is the part where you can add, if you finish or when you finish creating the outreach dashboard, ensure that nobody has, you're done creating the outreach dashboard first. Ensure you've created the outreach dashboard. Don't register anybody. So it's still very fresh. Just carry the link and put here. So just put the link, the URL link. So the website, like what you have at the top there, just copy it like that and just come and put it here. Once you put it here, automatically it will link it. So all you need to do is just share this particular page. Just share only this events page with your potential participants, and they will register, and it will automatically register them on the outreach dashboard. Again, Haliru, I don't know if this answers your question.
It does. Thank you.
Okay, I can see that we have like additional time later when we have question and answer. If any other question pops up, I'm still around. You can ask during that time. But I have to hand over the mic now to Chino back. Thank you.
Thank you, Benedict. I myself have 4 or 5 questions to ask, but I'll be patient enough to wait for 20 minutes, considering the time slot. Okay. And thank you everyone who asked their question. At least you made it out of the drop-dead silence. You made it very interactive. So thank you so much for asking your questions. This is so beautiful to see. And I'll hand it over to Euphemia for next 20 minutes. Over to you, Euphemia.
Thank you so much, Chinny. And thank you so much, Benedict, as well. I really love that we are feeling so much inspired with this tool. And now that we have seen what the tool offers and the different ways we can use the tool, it is currently the Wiki for Human Rights 2024 campaign running at the moment, or it could also be that there are even other campaigns that you are currently organizing or you plan to organize in the near future. And the question we need to be asking ourselves, or we want you to have in focus, is how can you actually leverage some of the things that we have shown here today to make sure that you have an event that is really impactful for both your community and the movement. Next slide. So we want to draw your attention to some of the ways you can look at this tool beyond organizing an editathon or content drive. There are also other layers of activities that leads up to the bigger programs of editathons or hackathons or write-a-thons and all of that. Sometimes we see that before we need to do that main event, we need to have office hours, we need to have learning sessions or trainings, just as the one we are having right now. You need to even have things like maybe webinars, trainings. Sometimes before the arrival of these two, we find out that we don't have a place for us to even document or make visible some of these activities for people to begin to see. Before you were able to maybe conduct an editathon, I was able to, for example, maybe have a capacity building session where I was able to empower people on how they can contribute to a certain Wikimedia project. But these two, you can choose to also not just limit it to content drives, but you can also choose to use it for this variety of things I have mentioned. And what it gives you is that it helps you to begin to see and demonstrate to people who are also watching what you're doing, the different layers of activities and ways of participation that people bring to what you are doing or the campaign that you're doing. And what that also helps you to do is that as you begin to see, for example, the different ways people are participating in your events because of these two, you can even begin to evaluate, for example, who is showing up to my launch webinar, but is not showing up to the editing session or the editing process, and why are they not showing up? And maybe you want to like use this to like re-strategize and maybe look for ways you can single out these people and maybe reach out to them and begin to understand what kind of support do they need to maybe contribute to your content drive, to your translation activities and all of that. And even beyond helping you to like bring people into more participation, you also begin to see that there is something it does in the way you document your activities and make it visible to the movement. For example, like I earlier said, if you are going to just say you had an editathon or you had a translatathon or a range of these other activities, we know that, yes, a normal Wikimedia campaign or activities would maybe have small layers of activities to get to that main one. But how about you use this to show people that before you run this particular mega event, you were able to have these small activities such as office hours, such as training sessions, launch webinars, before you even arrive to the bigger thing. And then because you are also having this kind of data, it also helps you to like start looking at your events beyond what campaign you're organizing or just running this series of activities. You want to look, for example, because you're able to have all of these layers of activities, you want to start thinking about impact in terms of who is being retained as a result of my program, for example. If people showed up to my event, where are the other events after the campaign that they're also showing up in my community? And because this too makes it possible for people to register, and you can have access to the registered username as long as it exists, you can actually be able to like monitor and see some of the other places that people are showing up, especially for new contributors. Do they continue to edit after your campaign? And what kind of activities or community activities are they editing in? And then what kind of Wikimedia projects interest them, or even what kind of thematic areas do they show up in more frequently? And that can help you to like begin to think about how you want to build programs that, you know, responds to the need of the people you have in your community who are also like participating. You can also think about the email feature as well, beyond that data set, like what Benedict said with the email feature. Now, we know that beyond reaching out to people about reminders for the events and so many other information we want to pass, including video recordings and session recordings, there's also something we traditionally do when we organize content drives, where people need to come in and contribute. And at the end of the day, you want to look at who are the top contributors that will go home with some certain prizes or awards. Sometimes we have this traditional way of maybe looking at how we can reach out to these people to maybe deliver their prizes to them. And sometimes we use this traditional way of like, tell a friend to maybe look for this person in your community, or you're looking for this particular username to like make sure that you can reach out to them with the news of how they can access their prize and all that. But with these two, you might not need to have to go through all of that stress. Remember that the email feature is still there for you to like still go back, because you already have everybody registered there. All you need to do, and we would also assume that you should have like a WhatsApp or Telegram event group where you have everyone who is participating, that you obviously linked to your page when you were creating it, that you obviously have everyone who is participating in that group. Then you just want to like single those usernames you want to reach out to, and then maybe single them out and then send those prizes to them. Send that email to them about the prizes, but it comes with an action that you need to take. Like Benedict was saying when he was doing the demo, that you might encounter some people who registered, but they don't have email address, probably enabled for you to send that emails to them. So what this means is that from the very beginning that you start your event, you need to find ways to like encourage people to make sure that they have their email confirmation enabled on their username, on their user page, so that that way you will be able to communicate with them about information about the event and all that you need to communicate with them, including the prize receiver. And you can actually walk them through how to actually make sure that they have that enabled on their account. And this could also speak to one question that came from the chat. So what actually happens is that at the point of registration, we are usually prompted to put in our email address, because sometimes we find out that it also helps us to like be able to reset our password when we need it and all that. So automatically by doing that, you see that somehow your email address still comes into your user page or your account. But what happens is that it could be that some of us didn't enable it to be able to receive emails, or maybe it could be that we also, went there and saw that, okay, we don't need this email, and then we removed the email address. So what you could actually do in this kind of instance is to make sure you guide your participants for them to enable that feature on their account. And how you can actually do that, let me quickly share my screen. Benedict, do you mind? Let me just do a quick show if that's okay. Thank you. So let me just quickly share my screen, if that's okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Perfect. So now what you can actually do is you just need to come to your account. Since you will be signing in anyway, you need to just come to where we have these preferences, and then come right to your user profile under that preferences. Then come down to where we have this email options. You already see that my email is showing, and because I put it at the point of registration, it already shows. But then there's also an action to ask me whether I want to change or remove that email address if I don't need it. And in most cases, people don't go about to remove that email address. But what happens is that some people, when you come to email confirmation, some people don't get to select, for example, allow other users to email me, or maybe allow emails from brand new users to select it and save, to enable them to receive any email from any of the community members. So this is something you need to show people even from the very start of your event, and then encourage them to enable this and then save it once they do it. That way they will be able to receive emails when once this is enabled. Then once they enable this, and then they want to find out, for example, was it successful? All they need to do is to come and click on their username, and then check on the tools bar. Once they're able to see this email, this user feature here, then they know that they are good to go, and they are able to receive an email notification. So once you do this, it will really save you the pain of having to go to people to start asking for phone numbers or email addresses because you want to maybe communicate to the winners their prizes. So all you just need to do is like go to the tool, use that email feature, single out the people who had won these prizes, and just communicate to them via email and straight away, and that will make your work very easy. Then, in addition to also how we use the data sets, Benedict mentioned when he was sharing about some of the participants' questions we have, which, by the way, is optional. But one thing I want to like share with you here is how this data shows up when people register. If you get to select them where you need them, and how you can like actually use this data to like do some kind of analysis and planning that will help your events better. So I'm going to demo with this events, the Wiki for Human Rights information session, which by the way is over. But you can come to like manage events and then be able to see where we have event details, some of the details about start and end dates, location, chat group, and who is organizing. Then you have the participants, the message, and then there is this one about the response statistics. And I think this is something you need to pay very close attention to, especially if you enabled it, and then how it actually shows up in aggregate form when people finish filling or responding to such questions. For example, you see here the question about how confident people who are attending your event are to contributing to Wikimedia projects. When you click on this drop-down button, you see that you actually have this showing up in the context of this event. How many people are saying, for example, we have never contributed to a Wikimedia project before? How many of them are saying, oh, we have some experience and we are confident contributing, but we need to learn more? So if you look at these clear statistics, not in percentage, but in the actual numbers, you see that this event is showing that we have actually more people who are saying they are experienced Wikimedians attending than maybe having people who are just like new contributors. What this data can actually help you to do, if you get people to register before, for example, you show up to a real event online or offline, is to like think about who is my audience. You might say you want to target newbies or experienced Wikimedians or inexperienced Wikimedians, but who actually would end up showing up to the event. And then if you happen to see that you have more of inexperienced Wikimedians or maybe new contributors, you want to make sure that your program activities will be designed in such a way that it will have easy tasks that the newbies or the inexperienced Wikimedians can have the capacity to contribute to. And then if it's maybe also a mixture of both the new ones and the people who have experience, you want to build something that responds to this different audience in a way that people can find the joy and the capacity to contribute. Now, if we also come down a bit, we see the one about the personally identifiable information, gender, age, and profession, like how you want to like also see how that is showing up in your event, and using also the context of the Wiki for Human Rights information session. For some people who are organizing Wiki for Human Rights campaign, or maybe you are also like organizing other kinds of campaign, it might be that gender participation is, women participation is very important to you. And maybe when you run, your eyes around your community, it looks like, oh, I'm seeing more women and I might not need any data to validate what I'm seeing. That's okay. But what this also does without the data is that it closes your eyes to the other kind of gender identities who might also be showing up in your event and who you want to definitely take note of and help you to like see who is showing up and how to respond to their need. So here you see this kind of statistics can actually help you to see who is showing up in terms of women, men, and other genders. And then you want to actually use this kind of information and make sure that you keep it handy as you maybe take into the next edition of the campaign. You want to also have access to this kind of data again, and then begin to think, if I'm interested in women, for example, and then I ran this campaign this year, in the next year, did women actually increase or not increase? And why is it so? What is it that we need to do additionally to maybe also help people participate more, or maybe target other kind of gender. The same goes for age. If you're so interested in, for example, young people participating, or maybe sometimes we run events and it's difficult at times to even relate to who is participating in this event more than other age distribution. For example, as you can see in this very data, we're saying that people who are under 25 to 34 are showing up more than other age distribution. And then how can this even help you to begin to think, for example, why more of this age distribution is showing up more, and if this is what you want, aligned to your goal. And then as you even move into the next edition, for example, how do you also begin to see whether it's decreasing or increasing? And use all of this data, for example, to match it to what the goals of your campaign is or was, and then like make sure that in your report writing, you're able to demonstrate beyond the number of edits and beyond the number of people who are contributing, what are the other layers of impact and participation that you can actually demonstrate to the community and the movement because you have these two. So, and also, if you also look at what kind of profession is also showing up to your event, yeah, we have like a list of them, and also like others that might not fall into this category. But this can also help you to understand the times, who is showing up to your event, what kind of people, and help you to also think about how can I design a program that, you know, responds to educators who are arriving at my event, and help them to find things that they will find valuable to like contribute and all that. So this is also like another data that you will find very interesting. Then I want to like go a bit to where we also have the event details beyond the data. Benedict also mentioned the importance of linking your grant ID if you have a rapid grant from WMF, for example. And most of the people, or some of the people who are running the Wiki for Human Rights campaign have this. How can you use this tool to make sure that it helps you in easy reporting? Because by linking up this, you would be able to like even allow the community resources team to have access to some of the data that will be flowing from the events that you're having. So, and all you need to do using this very event that I'm demoing with, you just come to where you have the event details, and then you come to where you have the edit button here. And then you just have to like make sure you come down to where we have the grant ID. And I think we really need to pay very close attention to this one. It says you need to obtain this from the grant portal. If you check on Flux, you see that if you read this statement to the end, you see that you are given an instance of how the grant ID could present itself, or how it presents itself rather. And then you see that it normally starts with a letter and a hyphen and numbers and another hyphen and all that. And then even though there's an instruction not to include the letters, you want to pay attention to how it is structured or how it presents itself. Because when you go to the Flux, for example, you see that when you go to your grants, whether the ones that are active or incomplete, you will always see that each of them has like a unique ID that you can access. Has a unique ID. Sorry about that. So you have a unique ID that you can actually access and make sure that you put in there. But if you also come to a grant meta page, for example, you would also see that that kind of ID is also available on a meta page. For example, this is the grant, Wiki for Human Rights grant in Nigeria. You see that there is also this ID here that also says it's an ID. So just like, so you're aware that this is not the one that you are requested to put. It's actually the one in your Flux ID where you have to go and assess that particular grant that you have applied for, and then make sure that you have that ID imputed in the column, so that the community resources team can have access to that. And even when you are reporting, you see that it allows you to find things easy and available available and visible for people who are interested in your data and the events you are running. I'll stop sharing and ask that Benedict, you please put back the slides on. Just a second. Benedict, are you there?
It's okay. We'll put the slides on right now.
Thank you.
I am actually. I was looking for the unmute button and I was having power issues.
No worries. Thank you. And then can you go to slide 28? So now that you have listened to all this and garnered all of the knowledge relating to this tool and how you can use it to run whether the Wikipedia Human Rights campaign or whether it is any other campaign, you might start wondering, like, what is the next step? Where do I go from here? We want to share that there is an open space where people who are using the tool, people who have the right or intent to use the tool in the future, come together to like share their feedback, have open conversations, or even share any concerns or experiences using the tool. And that is the Event Organizers Telegram group. We encourage you to please join that. You will find it so valuable for you to like meet other people who are using and sharing their experiences about that event. And Benedict will have the link shared in the chat, so you can just access it. And then of course, get your organizer rights for you to like start using the tool already, and make sure that after now, you can continue using that to have fun with all of your events. And I'll hand it over to Chinu to tell us what we have next. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And this is really insightful to see all these things, because I myself has faced like, challenges with integrating working with Flux and other event platforms related to the movement. Okay, considering the time factor, we will now move directly to the activity rooms. I would request Cassie to start the breakout rooms, and we will continue the activity for 10 minutes. And then we will come back to the main room to discuss the reflections. And thank you, Ilana. I mean, you have been constantly addressing the questions and responses in the chat. It's really helpful. Okay, over to you, Cassie.
Thank you, Chinu. All right, everyone. So we will be into breakout rooms. We will,
Cassie, Benedict has raised his hand.
Go ahead, Benedict.
Yeah, I just wanted to make it easier for Cassie, just to explain what will be happening in the room. Again, we just want everyone to, if you don't have the rights, remember the links I shared, I'll be sharing them again for you to check first if you have the event organizer rights. If you don't have the event organizer rights, I will encourage you to check first. Just follow the process I showed earlier on how to get it. Let me quickly just drop it here on our chat. Again, this is where you can check if you have the event organizer rights. If you don't, this is the time to actually get it. So how you can get it is go to this page. This is the page. So go to this page. Again, let me share my screen so you see the page, what it looks like. And then everyone will just easily just go there and try getting this yourself. I hope you can all see my screen. So if you can see my screen, the last link I shared is this page, the event organizer rights. Remember what I showed earlier on how to get the rights is simply just by coming to this page, then scroll down to the recommended process for requesting for the rights. Of course, you want to read everything here, but the important thing, everything is important, but just scroll down to this part. And then you see this part here, this request for rights from SysUp is a link. You can click on it, but I will encourage you to open this in a different link. So open it in a different tab rather. So if you open it in a different tab so that you can come back and copy this part. So remember how I showed you to copy it? You just copy this part. First, this is the subject. Then this other part will be the body. Then you can edit it appropriately. So I wanted to just throw in this before I hand it back over to Cassie. So yeah, you know what to do when you get to the breakout rooms. Hope this helps.
Thank you, Benedict. For those who need interpretation, please stay here. You don't need to do anything. I will assign 2 rooms, and so you are free to choose room 1 or room 2, and then the facilitators will be in each room. Again, if you need interpretation, please stay here. Unfortunately, Zoom does not offer interpretation in breakout rooms on Zoom. So I'm opening up the rooms now. You will see on your screen to choose a room, either room 1 or room 2, and the facilitators and the Let's Connect team will be there with you to support. But I also encourage all the participants to help each other with questions if you have it. And you're also free to share your screen to help each other out. So feel free to pick a room. It is already assigned right now. And we'll give about 2 minutes for everyone to be in a room. So if we can do this as we are talking, choose a room, and it will be easier to do this breakout session. I see that there are 4 people in room 2, 3 people in room 1. Do well to join room 1 if you have not chosen a room yet. Team, if
I will.
Oh,
sorry, I will be joining the different rooms just to see if they have any questions. So I'll just be alternating on the rooms, if that's okay.
All good, thank you. Again, everyone, if you need interpretation, stay here in the room, but we encourage you to join a breakout room if you do not need interpretation. Thank you, interpreters. This is a good break time for you all. A room with barbecue would be great. I agree. Although I am plant-based, so my barbecue would be a lot of vegetables, but I can cook meat, so I'm gonna pause the recording.
But anyone wants to? Yeah, so I'll keep the place open for all. Do you have anything to share or anything to ask from your rooms or overall for the session? If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask, or you can paste your questions in the chat and we will address those. Sorry, CD, we have to respect the time of our sharers and our participants. That's why we were quick, though we didn't want it to. Any questions, any feedback, any concerns, any confusion, any clarity needed on the tool, descriptions, demo, process? Okay, I'll wait for 30 seconds more. If we don't have any hand raise or unmute questions. Yes, Benedict, please go ahead.
I just want to add that so the tool we're building, this tool you're seeing, is just something we're doing for the movement. So it's not just for one person. We're not building it for ourselves. So I want to encourage everyone to please feel free to join the Telegram channel so that you can help us even test it out. If you have any other feature you feel like we should add, you can add it there. You can put it there on the Telegram channel. I'm there. Ilana is there. You have the entire team almost is there. So you can always reach us through the Telegram channel as well. Also to add, again, the Telegram channel also helps in terms of if you're organizing events. So other organizers are there. In case you have, maybe you need help with maybe other organizational thing, it's not only, you're not just tied with yourself thinking anymore. You have ability to now reach out to even more organizers who have other experiences that could help you. So I'm encouraging you all, please join that. Also, if you have any features that you feel like you need us to add, again, if you don't want to ask or suggest the feature on the, you can always reach out to either me or Ilana or Euphemia. I want to do a very huge shout out to Ilana. She has been responding to all your questions on the chat. I saw that. Thank you so much, Ilana, for that. And yeah, I think that's the thing I wanted to say before everyone leaves. So yeah, over to you, back to you.
Yes, you wanted to share something, Ilana?
I was just going to say something similar to Benedict, which is that we hope this is just the beginning of the conversation. For some of you, you may not have tried the tool yet, really in a real event. So maybe you still want to try it out and then questions will occur. That's totally okay. You can post your questions and they don't have to be in English. We have ambassadors for French, Spanish, Swahili, Arabic. If it's not in those languages, we can also use translation tools ourselves and respond to you. So please reach out to us. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know how things can be improved. We get really excited when we get feedback from people. And overall, just thanks for joining us. This work, as in this tool and our team, was created in the first place because we thought it was really important to empower and support organizers. So thanks for the work that you do. And we hope that we can continue to see feedback and usage from all of you so we can continue to grow and improve the tooling that we're building.
Benedict, you had something to say? You raised your hand.
Oh no, I was trying to bring down my hand and the button keep going up and down. So sorry about that.
Okay, no issues. As you can already see, there are like so many good feedbacks regarding the session. Looks like people have really enjoyed and learned a lot. Thank you so much, our dear sharers. And so sorry to keep you 5 minutes over time. Well, as you can see in the chat, my colleague Justice has just pasted a feedback link. We really value your feedbacks. So you can please take a minute. I assure you that it will not take more than 50 seconds of your time to keep the feedback survey. That is really important to us. And we will be sharing all the session recordings, resources, and contact details, the official email address of all the sharers, just in case if you want to get connected to them. If you have any specific subject to cover, you can feel free to do that. And stay updated with us on YouTube and our resources page and registrations for our upcoming learning clinics and all the resources that have connected from the past clinics. Thank you, everyone, and have a good day, good morning, good evening, good night.